leveling the playing field between Main Street and Wall Street. Brett Crosby has done this. Actually, at a company that got picked up by Google. These are some pretty big accomplishments, man. So now you're the COO of PeerStreet. Share with our audience really what your backstory is to where you got here today. I mean, getting picked up by Google is kind of a big deal.
Yeah, it was super exciting, and thanks for having me on the show. Love being on the show.
Yep. Great entrepreneurial story.
Thank you very much. Yeah, and I love what you guys are doing with the program. So glad to be on it. Yeah. So my background, I was co-founder of a company called Urchin Software Corporation.
Yep.
Built that business in San Diego, and you know, we were very early in the web analytics space and helped build that industry. And in 2005, long story short, Google acquired us, and we turned that business into Google Analytics. With a number of people, both from Urchin as well as people that joined us from Google. Launched that and built it, and then I stayed on at Google for about 10 years, launching and developing new products.
Now, were you in San Diego when you were with Google?
No, I was in corporate headquarters in Mountain View. I sat right out in front of Larry and Sergey.
Give us a good story about working with Google.
I mean, it's incredible. You know, the amount of stuff I learned going to that company, the level of intelligence of all the employees there, the legendary perks of being there. But for me, the biggest perk was just being around those people, all the exciting things going on. It was really like being inside, Wonka's chocolate factory.
Except for business.
Yeah, exactly. For business.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So now you have PeerStreet. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So one of my college buddies actually reached out to me when I was at Google, and I was very happy, having a great career at Google, and he convinced me that PeerStreet was this great idea and that I should leave Google and co-found it with him. And on a wing and a prayer.
And what year was this?
This was in 2014.
Okay, so not that long ago.
Not that long ago, yeah.
Okay.
And this is a business in a space that I knew a bit about, but there were many unknowns for me at the time. So I actually went to Michael Burry, who's the guy who is the star of that book, The Big Short, and the movie.
Yeah.
He was played by Christian Bale in the movie.
Yep.
And went to him and said, hey, look, you were able to, from Silicon Valley, you were able to see all these problems on Wall Street that led up to the global recession. And so are there any sort of things that I'm not seeing here that would be a major misgiving if I left Google in this great job to go do this? And I just wanted to get the idea in front of him. Long story short, he really liked the idea. I asked if he wanted to be an advisor, and he said, I don't want to be an advisor, I want to invest in this business. And he was that confident that it was a great idea. So shortly thereafter, I left Google and joined my co-founder to start the entrepreneurial journey all over again.
Okay, so now PeerStreet does what?
So we are a platform for investing in real estate debt. And most people know they can invest in real estate equity by buying a home or buying a property. They don't know that they can actually invest in the debt side of that. And the reason for that is that most people couldn't actually do that until quite recently, until PeerStreet made it available. If people could, it was very hard to diversify, very hard to source deals, and if they did get an investment that they liked being in, if it worked out, great, and if it didn't, you really need kind of an army of people, of lawyers and stuff to help you work it out.
Sure.
And so with PeerStreet, we said, hey, we can solve all of those problems. We'll create a platform, source the deals, vet the deals, allow people to diversify in a way never before possible, minimum of $1,000 investment. And if something goes wrong, we handle the situation.
Help the untrained ear understand what it means to invest in debt.
Yeah, so...
Don't we not want debt, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you're not, it's funny because you're not taking out the loan in this situation. You're able to invest, kind of be the bank in this situation and invest in a loan that's already been originated.
Okay.
And these types of loans we're talking about, these are short-term, generally fairly high yield, and fairly conservative loan to value. So what that means is generally about a year in term, and average yield is about 7.5% to 8%, but it can range between 6 to 10%. And you can handpick your deals. You can diversify $1,000 minimum, so you can, create your own basket of loans. Mm-hmm. And then our max loan to value is 75%. And so even in your own home mortgage, typically a bank will lend you up to 80%.
Or even more. Loan. I mean, FHA, you can go up to 97%,
right.
100%. So just
and
to make sure it makes sense for our audience, so when you're
in,
saying a 75% loan to value, what I'm interpreting that as a low risk investment. Is that fair?
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, these are fairly, conservative investments. The market certainly goes higher than that. We take a more conservative swath of the market so that if something does go wrong, the odds of principal loss are muted by the fact that you've got this equity cushion that the original borrower put their capital in, right?
And you guys are doing a lot in the real estate world, because you mentioned like some short-term loans as well.
It's all real estate.
Purely real estate.
All of our loans are 100% first position liens on real estate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you got a unique position in that market since we talk so much about real estate. I mean, the American Dream's in 20 cities with the best realtors all across the country. It's a big part of our message.
Yeah.
You being uniquely positioned, what do you think of the real estate market?
It's really interesting. We've had a great bull run in the real estate market, which has been wonderful to be a part of. We always have to be prepared for a downturn.
Of course, after what happened in 2008.
Given that, and then also the nature of our business, where people are investing their money, we want to make sure that if something were to happen, they're in the best position possible. I think relative to other investments, even in the downturn, real estate debt, for the most part, fared favorably, and especially if you were able to ride through a little bit of the cycle. And we talk about the one side of our platform, which is where individuals can invest in real estate debt in a way never before possible.
Sure.
We have thousands of people that are doing that today, as well as large institutions, and that's where we talk about leveling the playing field between individuals as well, from Main Street to Wall Street. So individuals and institutions both invest on the platform. But on the other side of the platform, we've got all these private lenders who are making these loans. And what that does, the benefit of this platform is that individuals like us can now find something to invest in that is relatively stable income. If there's something goes wrong, you're in the first position to get paid back,
First lien versus second lien.
Exactly. Or
Right.
if it's like consumer credit loans you're investing in, there's nothing backing
It's
that.
not attached to anything.
Exactly.
There's no lien.
So we feel good about the asset. And then on the other side, you have lenders who are private lenders. They're non-bank lenders, so they don't have depositor capital. They're always capital constrained because it requires a lot of capital to make these types of loans. And so what we're doing is actually making it so more borrowers get access to more capital via the private lenders that we work with.
Are you confident in the housing market?
I am confident in the housing market at the moment. The fundamentals look good. There's still a shortage of houses in most major markets, and people need a place to live. You have more millennials entering the market today, looking to buy, and the economy's been robust. But that said, it is a cyclical industry, and so you can see downside to it. But and look, if you've got a great crystal ball, I'd love to see it. But and the reality is that I think the best crystal ball is looking at the data, looking at the fundamentals, what's happening in those local markets, and having boots on the ground of people who know those local markets. And that's because we are not a direct lender. We work with all of these hundreds of private lenders throughout the country. They have their local boots on the ground. They know the local markets, and then we double check their work.
Brett Crosby helping Main Street compete with Wall Street. Thanks for coming on the show, giving us an opinion about the real estate market. Really appreciate it, man.
Absolutely, Craig. Thanks for having me. And we just hit $1 billion funded through our platform recently. And so as an internal thing, we put together this pretty cool shirt, which I'm not sure how much people can see on TV, but wanted to bring one of these for you. It says PeerStreet. It's black on black to kind of celebrate
black on black, man.
The milestone. So enjoy that, and hopefully we'll see it on
awesome,
wearing
man.
it in a future episode with your suit.
Check this thing out, and hopefully the real estate market is bullish for us and everybody watching here, man.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you dropping in.
Thank you, sir.
All right, more of the American Dream coming up next.